Hey, what's up, everybody? Michael here with Blissful Misery, and I am in the studio. And this may appear on my vlogging Michael YouTube or the Blissful Misery YouTube. I'm not sure where I'm going to upload these yet. We'll have to figure it out. All right. With that being said, I'm going to tell you what I am doing, the end goal, and then what I'm doing to get there. So the project I'm working on is called the Remaddening Project. And I'm going to record, after 20 some years, I'm going to record my album, The Madness. I'm going to record all of the original songs. They're going to be rewritten, though, slightly, and rearranged, reworked. Let's just call it reworked. And then I'm going to have new parts put in them, or I'm going to put new parts in them and stuff as well. But so I want to go over my process. Basically, I use Guitar Pro 8, and I score out all of my music. I don't know where that's at. I hope it don't go off again. I score out all of my music, and then once I've got that, I can practice with it or whatever, and I can hear like a full band, orchestra, whatever I need to do. I can hear it in that. You can't really mix it too good. You can semi-mix it, but not the best. So at that point, basically, once I've got all of my scores written, I've done the first song, and I tested a lot of recording stuff with that song, and now I'm going back and I'm going to do the rest of them as a batch of everything. So we're going to rewrite everything and rework it in the score in Guitar Pro first. That includes probably rewriting drums, bass lines, some of the guitar parts. Most of the guitar solos I'm going to change or rewrite completely. I'm going to do that. Once I have to write at least a string section and probably some sort of keyboard or piano part as well. And once that's done, I'll go and I'll kind of semi-mix it in Guitar Pro 8. I save it again as an export file, basically, and I go back and I unmix it, where I'm going to put everything at 0. I don't know if it makes a big difference on there or not. I think it does import some of the stuff, but I'm going to put everything at 0 and then unpan everything, so everything will be right up the middle. And I'm going to take that and then put that into my DAW, which is Reaper. And I'm going to, when I get that in the DAW, I'll be able to set up a project file for each of the songs. And once I've got all the tracks in that I'm going to need, and I've got my virtual instruments set up, I'll be using virtual instruments for drums, bass, some acoustic guitars as well. But any of the symphony elements, the piano or keyboard parts, all of that is going to be virtual instruments. And I will have to go through and set up my MIDI the way I want it to be. I usually do a process called humanizing it. And like I said, I think I said I'm using Reaper for a DAW. I absolutely love Reaper. I've not had a problem with it at all. And it does have a little bit of a learning curve, but once you start getting it down, it's really a great program. But you can humanize your MIDI, which will randomize the velocity of the MIDI and also the timing. So it'll be slightly changed with the time. It's not enough that it doesn't sound right, but it doesn't sound perfect like a regular MIDI would either. So, and I like the way it sounds when you do the random humanizing ones. The only problem with it is that every now and then you'll get a piece that when you humanize it, the velocity doesn't hit right, and I don't know why. And it's almost like it's like when you mess up playing, and I don't want it to sound like it's messed up, so I have to go through each track after I humanize it. And if it doesn't sound good enough, I have to undo it and then do it again until I get the parts done that I like. So once I've got all of that done, I'll start. I'll have all my tracks set up and I'll record. I'm using Amplitude 5 Max. Right now, I'm using a Squire Strat that I recently got and fixed up, and I'm using it to record with right now. Probably going to use my Les Paul, and probably will be using. I have an Ibanez arch top or a semi hollow. Art Core, I think, is what they're called. I don't really know what the series is, but probably those three for electrics. I do want to break out my Dean Inferno Flying V for at least one of the songs, and we'll see how that goes. I'll probably do Tired of This with that. I am thinking about drop tuning Tired of This to drop C. It is a drop D song, but I am thinking about taking it down to drop C. The reason for that is I already have several other drop C songs, and I would prefer to have one guitar in a drop tuning than two. So, basically, at that point, I'll go through and I'll do my preliminary mixing, and then I'll EQ everything. I'm not great at EQing. I can, of course, anybody can pan and set your volume levels, but EQing the muddiness out is what I have problems with, and I'm learning. But if I don't go on and do it and learn along the way, it'll never get done, and y'all will never hear it. So, you gotta, with people who have never been able to afford to take a lot of classes or do a lot of different producing things, like mixing and mastering and stuff, they got to learn somehow. I can only do what I can do, basically. So, with that being said, though, I think that they sound pretty good the way that I've got to start. There's a few things that I could do better if I went back and redone it again, but I don't want to. I don't want to sit there and remix the same song over and over and over. So the first thing that we're going to work on, though, is the main album of the Madness, and that's going to include guitars, bass, drums, an orchestra, piano or keyboard, and there'll be instrumentals. And that's going to be part of a bigger collection called the Madness Collection. And so everything that's on the Madness, every song that originated or was written for the Madness, is going to be part of this Madness Collection. And that includes some songs that are going to be versions that will be in other collections. So I have the Keys of Madness, which is going to be piano versions of the songs. I have Symphony of Dreams, which is going to be orchestra and symphony tracks. And when I say orchestra and symphony, if I call it an orchestra track, it's going to have the strings, brass, woodwind, and probably percussion, and also piano in it. If I say it's symphony, it might have strings, it might have strings, brass, and woodwind. It will not have the percussion, and it will not have piano in it. So that's the difference between those two. I've got the V acoustics, which is going to be virtual instrument acoustic only, and it's just so that y'all can hear the songs that way. I like the way it sounds, so I want to make them and put them out. It's basically just producing. It's no recording in those. So the way that I write it and all, it works out for me. In the end of the day, my music is out there. I wrote it, I produced it. There it is, and I love to listen to it in all these different versions myself. So then there's also going to be the acoustic versions, which is going to be on a collection called Acoustically Altered. And if I have an acoustic song from another album or release, EP, whatever, like say from Origins of Evil, or the Black Misery album or whatever, what I'll do is I will take that and put that also on in the collection of Acoustically Altered. So it just depends on what it is, like the version of it, and I'll have it listed in there. I'm not selling collections, like the big collection, unless it is like if it's the Madness collection, then you could buy all of the stuff from the Madness at once, like all the different versions and everything. So some songs may have multiple versions of the same type of thing, of the same version. Like for instance, I might have Remembering has 3 different piano versions. The Start has 3 different piano versions. It's got piano 1, piano 2, and then dual pianos. So I might have all 3 of them in a collection. It really just depends on if I want to put it in there, if I want to make it, because I like listening to it. So we're going to first do the Madness. Once I've recorded the Madness and everything has been recorded and I'm happy with it, and I've edited and moved around stuff or whatever you want to call it, quantized it or slid it or whatever, and I've got everything exactly how I want it. I'm a perfectionist. It takes me a long time to do stuff, even talk, as you can tell. But once I've got that done, I'm going to take a little bit of time and I'm going to do a non-symphony version, non-symphonic metal version, just a metal version or a rock metal version of the tracks from the 2 Welcome to the Madness EPs. And it's going to be Welcome to the Madness Remake. And so I don't have that information of which tracks they are. I know it's got Remembering Cold, The Start, Madness, Lunacy, BIC, I think Dark Soul is some of them that's on there. So I'll try to get those same tracks on there if they were on the 2 original ones. And then it's just going to be like a 4-piece band. So a drum, 2 guitars, and a bass. So that's going to be what the new Welcome to the Madness remake is. And I wanted to do that because I've actually had a lot of people ask me if I would make those available again, and I really don't want to put those out. They were not good back then. They were released in 2002 or 2003, I think. I think it was 2002. But I just did not care. Going back, listening to it at the time, you're young and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Listen to what we're doing. And as time goes on and you learn more and more, you're like, oh my God, it was horrible. So I don't want to put those out. I would really have to change it up a lot. And I don't want to do that. So, but it's going to be, the release schedule will be Welcome to the Madness remake and then the full Madness album, or it's just the Madness. And then after that, I'm going to do the Piano Madness, or the Keys of Madness, I think is what it'll be. I think it was the Pianos of Madness is what it is. At that point, I'll go for the Madness Symphony, and then I'll do Acoustic Madness after that. So I'm not going to record the acoustic versions until all of the other versions are done. And then that'll be the last of the Remaddening project and the Madness collection. So I'm getting close to 15 minutes, so I want to end this here soon. But some of these, when I get everything cleaned up in here, you'll actually get to see me working in the studio and what I'm doing, and it'll be like a vlog of what I'm actually doing, and I'll go through different things. But just wanted to give a heads up on what that was. Also, right quick, I'm going to be making a series about the meanings behind the songs. I've been asked this a whole lot to put out more about the meanings and stuff and my inspiration for them and explain certain things. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it in video format, and then I will put them up as a thing on my YouTube as well. So anyway, let me go ahead and jump off of here for now, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Hopefully I'll have a lot of my rewrites done by then, and we'll see it go. Wish me luck, y'all.